If I had to build 7 predictions for this weekend's football from all the major leagues using nothing but data, this is exactly what I would choose. These are the 7 selections that I'm going with this weekend, and they have all been generated by my new predictions tool, which has been trained to find insights, to look at games, look at certain stats and metrics in the same way that I have been doing on these very YouTube videos for years now. Every pick is backed by hard data, head-to-head data, XG, the form guide, value bets, the probability model. Everything that we have in the database at OddAlerts is funneled into this page, and you're about to see what comes out the other side. Yes, welcome back to the prediction show. It is time. It is that time again. Another update here on OddAlerts, and this is a brand new page and a major update to OddAlerts AI, which has been live on the website for some months now. You could interact with OddAlerts AI on individual fixtures. Now, as you can see here, it has its own home. It has its own page. And what it's going to do is go away and look at all major leagues that are upcoming, and it is going to analyze those games in the same way I would analyze those games, and try not to miss any detail, try not to miss any metric. And as you'll see as we go through this page, even in these early versions, it is doing quite a tremendous job and saving me an incredible amount of time when it comes to researching games for the weekend. So we'll start by just checking out the first insight that we see here, the featured insight from PSG against Strasbourg. That should be a fantastic game. It's actually on Friday night, that one. So PSG, we can see here, it's telling us about the second half scoring streak. 9 of the last 10 games PSG have scored in the second half. 6 of the last 6 at home, they have scored in the second half. And this being a Friday night game, after the international break, PSG got plenty of international players, of course. That is something to look out for, isn't it? That is an insight where it's actually very, very valuable. So we're going to save that one to our memory, as we do on this channel. If you're new here, we go through games, we just bank them, and then at the end we will put together some selections. I've already done the homework. I have 7 selections, as I mentioned in the intro. So as you scroll down here, you'll see that it is a feed. And on this feed, you can see games ordered by time. So the first game we're going to take a look at is Oxford against Derby County. And I've just opened up all the insights here. We have 5 per fixture, remember? And the one that stood out to me here is this near perfect scoring run for Derby. They have found the net in 9 of their last 10 games. They've scored in every one of their last 6 away games. They have also recorded BTTS in 8 out of 10. I've heard enough, you know what I mean? And I'll show you why I've heard enough in a moment when we check out these selections, but I'll just let you in on a little bit of a secret here. The odds for over 1.5 goals for this game are 1.5. We also have some more insights here that are very interesting. Derby have scored in the second half in 5 of their last 6 games, so that could be an option. Again, after the international break, there are quite a few second half goals, a lot of leggy performances, shall we say, in the first 45 minutes. So I'm actually going to upvote this one because I think that one is very, very interesting, very valuable, especially when the odds for this game are 1.5 for over 1.5 goals. So I'm just going to show you now how you can go to individual league pages. We scroll down. We've got these leagues at the moment. I'm going to be running a poll soon for the next league to be added to this. We've got the major leagues in Europe. We're going to click the championship, and we are going to scroll down until we see, we've already seen the Oxford Derby game, Southampton against Swansea. The game that I'm looking for is QPR against Millwall, and we can see that I have already upvoted this insight because it really did stand out to me. BTTS, both teams on near perfect scoring runs. QPR have found the net in 9 of their last 10 games, whilst Millwall have scored in all 6 of their recent away fixtures. Together they have produced BTTS in 8 of the last 10 games. So again, keep that in mind, and BTTS is a narrow value bet. The odds were evens when I did my research. They have since dropped to around 1.9, so I think that's still a very tasty selection indeed. Continuing with the championship, we have Birmingham City against Hull. Big game for Birmingham City, and we're going to just take a look at all of these insights. And we scroll down and we see that Hull are on a perfect scoring run. Hull have found the net in 6 of their last 6 games and have scored in the first half in 5 of those 6 games. But they're not really winning games because they are still conceding a lot of goals, as another insight tells us. A leaky defence. Hull concede 2.2 goals per game away from home. Now, Birmingham have slipped down the league, so this is a big game for Birmingham. And it is a value bet, 13% value for that Birmingham City win. Keep that in mind as we build our selections. Manchester City hosting Everton next, and you can see some of the insights here focusing on the overs market being quite valuable. 62% for over 4.5 goals, 21% for over 3.5 goals. And you can just read a little bit about the edge and the stats and the data behind it. The one that I wanted to show you for this one is City's first half scoring surge. Manchester City have scored in the first half in 8 of their last 10 games, whilst Everton have opened the scoring in just 4 of their last 10 games. City averaging 1.4 first half goals compared to Everton's 1.1. Half-time home win at 1.89 is actually a value bet based on the model's probability, our own model's probability of 56%. So can City start this one in a similar fashion? Will they be winning by the break? And will they be winning by full time? Half-time, full-time? You see where I'm going with that one. Now we scroll down and we see Brighton against Newcastle, also at 3 p.m. UK time. Brighton 100% over 1.5 goals in the last 10 of their last 10 games. All went over 1.5 goals. They are playing Newcastle, who have got a very, very good defensive record. We can see here BTTS no is a value bet. Might be 3 out of 3 at home for Brighton, but for Newcastle, 0 out of 4. Their defence is superb, isn't it? But Brighton at home, when they turn it on, can score against anybody. Under 1.5 goals, also a value bet. And what I want to show you here is this second half scoring surge. Brighton 8 out of 10, Newcastle 5 out of 6. Brighton have found the net in the second half in 8 of their last 10 games, and Newcastle have done so in 5 of their last 6. So that is certainly something worth considering. Sticking with the Premier League, we end with Fulham against Arsenal. We're going to take a quick look at the insights here, and then we will jump to Bet365 and I'll show you the selections, which total around 95 odds. We will trim the fat, don't worry. Fulham's home win, again, it's suggesting a value bet here. The home win is a value bet at 6.2. Let's see some of the other suggestions, shall we? Fulham are actually unbeaten in the last 6 home games. This might not be an easy game for Arsenal, but that doesn't mean they can't just go there and win 1-0 or 2-0. They've definitely got the capabilities defensively. But as we can see here, Fulham has scored in 6 of the last 6. This follows a broader pattern of scoring in 9 of their last 10 games, over 1.5 goals in 8 of those last 10 games. I guess the question is, can they score against Arsenal? When will Arsenal score? Well, we've got some data around that as well. Arsenal's second half scoring surge. Arsenal have scored in the second half in 8 of their last 10 outings and in every one of their last 6 games, extending a 7-game run of second half goals. I think the last time that they didn't was that game in the end of August at Anfield, where Szoboszlai put that free kick in the top bins, didn't he? So Fulham against Arsenal. Try and remember everything we've covered, because we are now going to jump to Bet365. So here are the selections based on that data, based on that new AI predictions tool, trained to think like me. So let's see which games I would keep and which games I would remove. BTTS QPR Millwall at 1.9. I do really like that given the data. Half with most goals, we see a couple of times here. The PSG Strasbourg game I think is great as a single. I'm going to remove it just because it's on Friday night. You don't want it to ruin everything, do you? Man City to win by half-time and full-time. That's evens, just over evens. Over 1 goal in the second half in the Brighton-Newcastle game is evens. Brighton scored 3 second-half goals at Stamford Bridge recently as part of their recent second-half goal rout. Oxford United against Derby 1.5. That's definitely staying in. There's a lot here. 48 47 to 1. It was 95 to 1. I guess what I'm going to remove is City, just because it's after the international break, isn't it? I think if we're going to put any emphasis on a certain half having most goals, it will be the second half. QPR, Millwall is staying. Fulham against Arsenal, we will remove this one. Over 2.5 goals, Birmingham and Hull, I do like that one as well. I think it's a big game for Birmingham, a lot of pressure on them and the manager and the players. They've not been scoring as many as they should be. And over 1 goal in the second half, maybe this is the one we remove, and this gets us to 5.46. That's what you call trimming the fat. Let me know if any of you have taken the 95 to 1. I'm sure some of you will have. Be sensible. A quid or something here or there. Don't put too much on that, because probability is not on your side. Try and make sure probability is on your side. BTTS, QPR, Millwall. Birmingham City against Hull, over 2.5 goals. Over 1 goals in Oxford United against Derby. Many of you are probably wondering how you can try the AI football predictions tool that I used in this very video. Just head to the description and you'll see a link to OddAlerts there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one.